The President of the United States acknowledged Bitcoin as a competitor to the US dollar. The Chairman of the Federal Reserve compared Bitcoin to gold. And yesterday, the Treasury Secretary gave a green light for cryptocurrency activity and exchanges so long as they weren't dark web and played by regulations. That, I think, is probably the most impactful sentence I've ever shared on this channel. So let's break it down a little bit more to see what's actually happening, why you should care, and what no one is talking about. Welcome to Ready Set Crypto. This is your brain on blockchain. So right off the bat, we need to address the Trump tweet and why out of the blue, he's suddenly talking about Bitcoin. If you're not already, I'd highly suggest getting on our free daily insider report where just yesterday, we talked about 4 separate and different takeaways from Trump's tweet. The sign up is down below and just takes a couple seconds to get yourself better informed about what's actually happening in the space and what actually matters. So here's those 4 takeaways. First, Trump's tweet affected the market by legitimizing the space, placing Bitcoin as a direct competitor to the US dollar and getting more people to talk seriously about crypto. There might be short-term volatility in response, financial dinosaurs jumping on the Bitcoin bashing bandwagon to try and suppress the price, etc. But the thing is, after this week, I don't think anybody can reasonably say that digital assets and currency don't directly compete with physical assets or traditional currency. The second takeaway is that Trump's tweet predicates a stronger government response on unregulated blockchain technology, as Trump's real target was Libra and the slipping notion of the USD as the world's reserve currency. We saw the Keep Big Tech Out of Finance Act introduced last week in an attempt to prevent the consolidation of big tech taking over big finance, with consumer data being their ultimate prize. Furthermore, there's a certain irony in the sense that the USD has been increasingly weaponized for the purposes of trade wars, tariffs, and threats, which has increased risk to the USD position of reserve currency of the world. By definition, a reserve currency must be low risk to survive, and the harder the US government tries to retain that role, the faster it slips away. Resistance to change only grows it faster. The third takeaway is that Donald Trump just made Bitcoin a 2020 election issue. Now you might hear election issue and roll your eyes because politics have become somewhat distasteful in recent years. But I want you to recognize that election issues represent what the public care about, what people are talking about. With a couple tweets, crypto is now a presidential and global policy issue. People everywhere will start to talk and embrace a mix of sovereign and non-sovereign digital currency. As Andreas Antonopoulos foretold, the future will be a 3-way battleground between government-issued currencies, corporate-issued currencies like Libra, and the decentralized currencies like Bitcoin. The fourth and final takeaway is that Trump's tweet changed the space forever. What matters is the very fact that a sitting president mentioned cryptocurrencies at all. More importantly, the tweet marks a symbolic milestone in the gradual but ever-expanding presence that cryptocurrency occupies in the public conversation around money and policy. It also marks the starting point of a titanic battle over the shape of our global money system. That, I believe, is the conversation that people are not having right now. So here's a question for you. What do you feel is the purpose of this space, the cryptocurrency space? What is the obtainable, tangible goal that we're striving for? Is it user adoption, redefining money, a new world order, acting as the antithesis of what caused the 2008 financial crisis, sticking it to the banks by allowing people to be their own banks, digital gold, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system like Satoshi said? I think all of these have value, and I think that's the beauty of this space. There isn't a concrete objective here other than to question and build a better system by process of innovation and trial and error. But if we look at the human aspect here, I think, in my opinion, the goal of blockchain and distributed ledger technology is to allow the people of the world to reframe their relationship with money in the new digital economy that quickly is approaching. So let's unpack that. I do believe it's kind of presumptuous to believe that some magic internet money is going to change the world and make people's lives better. After all, that's the first thing that you see on Libra's website. Reinvent money, transform the global economy so people everywhere can live better lives. Okay, but why? Why is there this inherent impetus for us to reinvent money and somehow cause the world to change? For one, I think that line of causality is really broken. Money doesn't run the global economy, nor does reinventing it stand to transform finance. We do. We use money. Money is a tool. Money's purpose, its use, its role in our lives is simply based on very human aspects. Like any tool, making it work better allows for a greater range of possibility, so long as we deign to seek it. Something that I draw attention to is the fact that 1.7 billion adults globally remain outside of the financial system with no access to traditional banks, even though 1 billion of them have mobile phones and nearly 500 million of them have internet access. Indeed, access to financial services is limited or restricted for those who need it most. All over the world, people with less money pay more for financial services. Hard-earned income is eroded by fees, from remittance to wire costs to overdraft to ATM fees. As we know it, blockchain and cryptocurrencies have a number of unique properties that can potentially address some of those problems of accessibility and trustworthiness. But again, bringing them into the fold of global finance and modern financial services has to be done for the sake of more than just envisioning people in third world countries being able to pay their bills. A worldwide economy, egalitarian in nature, the new digital economy will be built with all of us in mind. After all, we've seen the impact of the internet as an agnostic tool of information and communication. What happens when our financial system resembles the same? That is my vision for the new digital economy. Blending the emerging technologies such as blockchain, automation, AI, big data, Internet of Things, biotechnology, 5G, quantum computing, nanotechnology, and many more that have a role to play in this technological revolution. It stands to reason that the aggregate of all these technologies coming together, the new digital economy, will never be able to be built upon government-issued currencies or corporate-issued data harvesting vehicles trying to resemble cryptocurrencies. That's the implication of our current discourse. Our financial system needs an upgrade because we're stuck in conventions that cannot implicitly grow. Trump's tweet is a weather vane for the status quo trying to protect itself. Libra is a weather vane for the fight to come. But Bitcoin and other emerging technologies are the true future to come. I think this was summed up nicely in Carlota Perez's paper, Technological Revolutions and Techno-Economic Paradigms, where she said, "What distinguishes a technological revolution from a random collection of technology systems and justifies conceptualizing it as a revolution are two basic features. First, the strong interconnectedness and interdependence of participating systems in their technologies and markets. And second, the capacity to transform profoundly the rest of the economy and eventually society." And I think that's where we are right now. To look at Bitcoin and blockchain as an isolated, highly speculative venture is folly. Better yet to see the bridges being built, the overlapping efficiencies being explored, and the failures of the current system. And truly, how fitting it is to be able to see that in 140 characters. So if you like this content and you want to see more of it, please subscribe to this channel. Also be sure to get on our free daily insider report. And if you really want to take it to the next level, check out our Omnia service on our website, which gives you all you can need access to beginner through expert level courses on cryptocurrency and trading, gives you our premium newsletter, and gives you access to our mastermind group where we talk about all of these things on a daily basis. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.